The Twid is out, so that means we got to get in here and read it. This week in Destiny, we have May 30th, 2024. Before we begin with the Twid, we wanted to let you know all that earlier today, a portion of Destiny 2, The Final Shape, was accidentally pushed live on PS5's streaming service, so make sure you guys are watching out for leaks everywhere, please, if you do not want any spoilers. There are currently spoilers being shared online. A small group of players were able to play some of the campaign access collections and other reward info coming with The Final Shape and Echoes. We recommend being very careful on social media over the next few days to avoid spoilers. Remember to exercise caution and be critical of potential misinformation. Please be considerate of others and report leaks so players can experience the conclusion of the Light and Darkness saga themselves. Thanks to all of our community members who have already helped us by reporting leaks and those actively working to prevent more of the experience from being shared before its intended date. It's always extremely difficult when our team's hard work is leaked early, but we are still excited for everyone to experience the full release on June 4th together. Now on to your regularly scheduled Twid. This week in Destiny, we're just days away from The Final Shape. Are you ready? Did you get all the gear you were aiming for? We hope so. And while we can't give you any drops you may be missing, we can give you information on the new artifact perks so you can start fine-tuning your perfect build. Let's get the artifact. That's what I'm talking about, dude. This week's topics, we have Destiny 2 Dungeons and Dragons collaboration. Beautiful. The Final Shape artifact perk preview. We love that. Raid World's First race details. Display art for the Pantheon now available. The Pantheon Creator Challenge concludes. Fireteam Finder voice chat update. Cosplay Cosmodrome winners, we've already seen them. Bungie rewards last chance, and 24-hour downtime for the Final Shape launch. Dungeons and Dragons, I haven't seen this yet, so we may just watch this really quick. Looks pretty crazy. I'm just gonna be honest. Let's see what... Yo, I want the D20. I need the D20. Hunter's kit's looking pretty nice. Oh, you can... Oh, I need a beholder on my desk, dude. I need a beholder. That's crazy. W. I mean, that looks good. Looks really good. I definitely want the beholder on my desk. I want this. That looks amazing. I can't wait to get the D20 either. That's going to be pretty awesome. But what we're all here for, the Final Shape artifact preview. We love that. With the Final Shape right around the corner, we wanted to give you an early look at the artifact perks you can expect on launch day and throughout Echoes. The three elements in focus for this artifact are Solar, Void, and Arc. So we have all the light stuff in focus. You'll also find a focus on melee and swords, as well as long-range weapons such as snipers. So we're looking at possibly a Whisper and a Lament type of action. They did just decrease the well, so you want that healing from Lament possibly, but they are also giving a nerf to Lament. I mean, the gears are spinning. Why would they nerf well and Lament at the same time and then give you a sword artifact bonus unless they wanted you to stand on business in a well and maybe use Lament at the same time? It makes sense. But let's see what we have here. In the first column, we have anti-barrier pulse rifles, unstoppable sidearm, ew. Unstoppable scout rifle, also ew. Overload hand cannon, ew. What? Anti-barrier submachine gun, I like that a little bit. Barrier pulse rifle is probably going to be the play, and unstoppable scout's probably going to be the play. It kind of sucks. Oh, unstoppable sidearm. We could use what is it? The one from Warlord's Ruin. The arc one. Gosh, Indebted Kindness. We could use Indebted Kindness for unstoppable sidearm, so that's a special. So we could do unstoppable sidearm with Indebted Kindness, and then an anti-barrier pulse rifle or an overload hand cannon. That's a good kit. So it's not going to be that bad. It's going to be very good, I think, as far as like GMs go. So that's good. All right, let's go to the second column. Logic Reductor. Weapons with the Transposer origin perk deal increased damage to Vex. Increased damage to Vex, first and foremost. Nice. We have Vex increase. Extends the duration of the pools created by Radiolaria Transposer. Got it. Overcharged Armory. Weapons with the Dealer's Choice, Radiolaria Transposer, Collective Purpose, and Sundering Origin traits are always overcharged weapons for when that modifier is active. Mod Element Charge. Okay, so we have an element charge. The energy cost of elemental charge mods are significantly discounted. This is huge. This is huge. Okay, like discounted stuff. We love that. Saint's Inspiration. Rounds loaded by the Cast No Shadows origin perk can overflow the magazine. Okay. Winning Hand. This is a good one right here. This is usually where they put a good one, down here in the bottom of the second column. While using weapons with the Dealer's Choice origin trait, combat precision final blows or rapidly defeating combatants cause the target to explode, dealing solar damage to nearby enemies. So it's basically an ignition on the Dealer's Choice origin trait. Having several equipped weapons with Dealer's Choice origin trait increases the effect of the explosion. So you get ignitions from not having to run solar, and they're also solar ignitions. Good to look at. Elemental Siphon. Rapid final blows with a kinetic weapon or a weapon matching your equipped super create an elemental pickup that matches your equipped super. Okay, that's good to know. Equipped super in parentheses because we are using prismatic, so it's going to depend on your super, not your subclass. 5-head, love that. Overload sword. Okay, so we have an overload sword, kind of like similar to overload rockets, landing consecutive hits with a sword. Your wielding disrupts combatants, stunning them, delaying ability, energy, all the stuff for overload. Additionally, swords are always overcharged when that modifier is active. Creeping Chill. Stasis weapon final blows against slowed or frozen targets release a burst that slows. Okay, that's good for stasis. Press the Advantage. Breaking a combatant's shield grants increased weapon stability, handling, and reload speed. Swords gain increased guard resistance. Not that big of a deal. Destroying a tangle with a strand weapon creates a larger and more damaging explosion. Big yawns. Big yawns in the third column, if I'm being honest. Counter Energy. When you or a member of your fire team stuns a champion, you gain energy for your least charged ability. Blade Stamina. Rapidly defeating combatants with a sword refunds some ammo. That plus Relentless Strikes. Hey, yo. Void. How do you say that word? I don't even know how to say that word. Somebody type that out. Come on, man. Help a brother out. Is it hegemony? Void hegemony? How do you say that word? I'm lost. Anyways, while you have a void or prismatic subclass equipped, defeating weakened targets provides a small void overshield. Okay, so we have repulsor brace. We basically have repulsor brace. Radiant orbs. While you have solar or prismatic subclass equipped, picking up an orb power makes you radiant. That's kind of cool. I love being radiant because obviously that's intrinsic anti-barrier. So as long as you're making orbs, you will get radiant. Love that. Galvanic Armor. While you have an arc or prismatic subclass equipped, incoming damage from combatants is reduced while amplified. All of this stuff can be done with your fragments usually. So that's kind of honestly not a fan of the artifact so far, guys. Let's see what we have in this last column. This is where the big hitters are. All right, Prismatic Transfer. When you cast your super, each member of your fire team with a super type different than yours gains a bonus to weapon damage. So casting a well, if you're a warlock, you need to make sure that you have your Titan and Hunter on maybe like an Arc Gathering Storm T-Crash type build, because you can cast your super and then they do their super and they have bonus weapon damage. So that's a good one to have. Obviously, just coordinate with your team, doing different supers and using Prismatic Transfer. That is good for day one. That is good for day one because you're going to need to lean on your weapon damage as well as your supers heavily and coordinate with your team. That is a great one for day one. Argent Blade. While you have armor charge, dealing damage with a sword consumes an armor charge and empowers your sword for a short time, granting it bonus damage and energy charge rate. Basically the same thing as Argent Ordnance, except with your sword. Okay. Expanding Abyss. Void sources deal increased damage to weakened targets. Shield Crush. While you have a Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or Void Overshield, your melee recharges faster and deals increased damage. While you have Amplified or Radiant, your grenade recharges faster and deals increased damage. Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or Void Overshield, you get melee. I don't want to melee with Void on a Hunter. I don't want to melee with any of those. So I think the one that I would like here is my grenades from being amped, because Radiant usually doing healing grenades, or Radiant, I mean, you're not really doing that. Maybe with that's good for warlocks because you can go Radiant, and then obviously you're using your fusion grenades. That's huge for warlocks. I think more so for hunters, you're gonna go for the amped one for those pulse grenades and stuff like that. Maybe the same thing with Titans. I mean, I guess Titans would want the woven mail, and then their melee recharge on that. That's actually huge for a banner Titan. Even with the nerf, that they're still going to be pretty good. Something to look at there. A lot of different capabilities that you can get there. That's a good one. Shield Crush. Transference. Gain increased grenade and melee damage while transcendent. Weapon final blows while transcendent. Refund light and dark energy after transcendence ends. Okay. So this is after whenever you pop your transcendent, you gain increased grenade and melee damage. And also whenever you're done, your weapon final blows refund energy after it ends. So you want to basically use your grenades and your melees and then get as many weapon kills to get that back as possible before it ends, and then it'll refund a good amount. Makes sense. Honestly, not the best artifact. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me just yet. I assume the builds will come together as we get more into the raids and stuff, because they're leaning heavily into the swords, they're leaning heavily into melee combat, they're leaning heavily into shields. So it makes me think we're going to be standing on business in front of somebody. With the nerf to the well, the nerf to the lament, giving us Argent Blade on the swords, giving us all of this stuff. I think they're going to want us to put a well down and stand right next to somebody and do damage to them. That's what I'm thinking. Especially with the fact of the Void, Overshield giving you extra melee damage, all of that stuff. The Arc, Amplify giving you more grenade damage. All of these things refunding melee and grenade energy. You know, I feel like they're wanting us to completely stand on business. And I can't wait to find out exactly how we're going to be using this in dungeons, in raids, in echoes, all of the stuff. This is going to be huge. Salvation's Edge World First Race details. On June 7th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Brave Fire teams will look to become the first to complete the new raid and take home the coveted World's First belt. Some key details in your planning, including requirements and raid entry, and updates for the World First campaign or completion criteria. All right, details. Contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours. They're giving us 2 days. 2 days to complete contest mode. Okay, so that's the same thing as like Root of Nightmares. You'll need to be at 1965 power level to be at the cap through all of the encounters. Cool, so we have to get to at least 1965. That's actually not that bad. Entry requirements. Completing the Final Shape campaign and the Wildcard Exotic quest is a requirement to launch the raid. Final Shape campaign and Wildcard Exotic quest is a requirement to launch the raid. Okay, that's huge. All right, so you guys know what you need to get done. We have to finish the campaign. I'm obviously finishing it first on my Hunter, and then I'm making sure that I get through the Wildcard Exotic quest on my Hunter before I go do the other characters. Only fire team leader must meet the requirement. Okay, that's not that bad. Only one person has to do it. Just whoever gets it done, that's cool. Okay, so not that bad. Not as bad as I thought. A fair warning for any members of a fire team who do not complete the Final Shape campaign before jumping into Salvation's Edge. The raid contains spoilers. We love that. A continuation of the story into the raid. This is exactly how we wanted to see the raid. So that means the raid boss is going to have something to do with the story. Bungie, thank you so much. Completion criteria. We have changed the way we will track and recognize the world's first completion of the raid. Fire teams will no longer be required to return to orbit to finish the race. The first fire team to finish every encounter and loot the final chest will be declared the world's first and have their victory immortalized with Salvation's Edge World's First raid belts. Similar to Crota's Inn, we will be working to quickly check with analytics before we announce the winning team on our social channels, and we'll then start our more thorough security review. We don't want to make everyone wait around while we dig into this data, but if we do find out that any cheating or violations have occurred, we reserve the right to disqualify them and basically go to the next person. Honestly, I'm so ready for this raid. I love that they are locking it behind, obviously, the campaign and the exotic quest for at least one fire team member. And it's honestly the continuation of it coming from the story, the campaign into the raid, and the story just kind of flows into it. That's huge. That's going to make this raid so iconic, man. It's going to make it so great. It's exactly how it needs to look. World's first race on Twitch Rivals. Obviously, I'm not signed up for that. I guess I could sign up for that. Malachi is signed up for it. I know that for a fact. He will be doing Twitch Rivals. So if you want to log in and watch the homie on Twitch Rivals, you can do that. I'll open up the signups. I'm not sure if I can still get signed up, but we'll check. See if we can get on that Twitch Rivals with Malachi. This is Stand in Salvation emblem. Watch at least 2 hours of any Destiny 2 streamer. Hey, your favorite right here. That is a sick emblem for watching us for 2 hours. Sign up for it? Okay, Ty. Roots Remain emblem. Watch at least 2 hours of any of Destiny 2 Twitch Rivals stream of any participant. Okay, cool. I need to sign up for it so we can get this emblem as well. Rest the Heart emblem. Subscribe to your favorite Destiny 2 streamer. Guys, Guys, you can have all these emblems from me. Come on, dude. Pantheon Creator Challenge concludes. Cosplay Cosmodrome. All right, that does it for the Twid. We have our artifact. We have our raid details. Absolute W. This is honestly amazing. Dude, this freaking Dungeons & Dragons crossover. I need the Beholder. I need the Beholder. Stat. I need it. That is amazing. I'll put it right here. Right here. That does it for the Twid. If you enjoyed the video or found it informative, make sure you like, comment, share with a friend. Follow and subscribe if you know which platform you're on. We'll see you in the next one.